Capitalism is an economic system that emphasizes private ownership of the means of production, or a privately controlled economy. In a capitalist society, you have a free market, and companies live by the profit motive. They exist to make money and maximize the wealth of their shareholders, whether they have one shareholder or 1,000. Prices, products, and the distribution of goods are determined by the competition in a free market. A capitalist system is also called a market economy. There is a limited regulatory framework. Legislation is supposed to define and enforce the basic rules of the free market. The government does provide some public goods and services as well as support. Under this system, small businesses drive the economy. They provide most of the jobs, up to 70 and 80%. Large corporations provide most of the profit, but small businesses are the job creators. Adam Smith was an economist and philosopher who wrote what is considered the Bible of capitalism, The Wealth of Nations, in which he details the first system of political economy. In 1748, Adam Smith began giving a series of public lectures at the University of Edinburgh. Here he became lifelong friends with the economist David Hume. This relationship led to Smith's appointment to the Glasgow University faculty in 1751. In 1759, Smith published The Theory of Moral Sentiments, a book whose main contention is that human morality depends on sympathy between the individual and other members of society. On the heels of the book, he became the tutor of the future Duke of Buccleuch and travelled with him to France, where Smith met with other eminent thinkers of the day, such as Benjamin Franklin and the French economist Turgot. In 1776, Smith conceived the theory of capitalism in his book, An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations. Economics of the time were dominated by the idea that a country's wealth was best measured by its store of gold and silver. Smith proposed that the nation's wealth should not be judged by this metric, but by the total of its production and commerce, today known as gross national product. He also explored theories of the division of labor, through which specialization would lead a qualitative increase in productivity. Smith's ideas are a reflection on economics in light of the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, and he states that free market economies are the most productive and beneficial to their societies. Capitalism is an economic system based on the private ownership of capital, goods, and the means of production, with the creation of goods and services for profit. Elements central to capitalism include capital accumulation, competitive markets, and a price system. There are multiple variants of capitalism, including laissez-faire, welfare capitalism, and state capitalism. Karl Marx believed that the extension of the labor theory of value indicated capitalism would exploit workers by depriving them of value that workers themselves create. Capitalism's main economic claim to being an indispensable system is that it promotes economic growth, the benefits of which ostentatiously trickle down to the vast majority. Today, however, in the mature capitalist economy, economic growth has slowed down to a crawl. The gains of labor productivity flow upwards by myriad pumps, after which they are seldom allowed to trickle down. The result is a deeply unequal society and generalized economic stagnation, associated with a death of effective demand, countered only in part by financial bubbles, which eventually burst with disastrous effect. I personally believe that capitalism has done a lot of things to make our lives better, but today we have other problems because of it, and we will have to address them accordingly.